And now let me turn to today's announcement. 20 months ago, the COVID-19 pandemic exploded in America, creating the worst economic crisis we faced since the Great Depression, wreaking havoc not only on our economy, but the economies across the world. In just 2 months, over 20 million Americans lost their jobs, and unemployment rate shot up to 14.8%, the highest ever recorded in America. And all of you remember the scenes. Major cities and small towns, main streets that looked like ghost towns, boarded up businesses, empty roads, empty highways, empty airports, and empty train stations. Offices were closed, schools were closed, and hospitals were taken to the breaking point. When you remember the depths of the crisis we faced, it's all the more amazing the progress that we've made since then. We've gone from an economy that was shut down to an economy that's leading the world in economic growth. We've gone from small businesses being shuttered to a record number of new small businesses starting up. And we've gone from a devastating job destruction to record new job creation. Don't get me wrong, we still have a long way to go to fully recover from all the pain and destruction caused by the pandemic. And we're still dealing with the difficult challenges and complications caused by COVID-19 that are driving up costs for American families. I know for a lot of Americans, things are still very hard. But if you look at all the facts, you can only come to one conclusion. We've made enormous progress in this country. First and foremost, our economy is creating jobs, lots of jobs. In fact, we've seen a record new job growth in America this year. 5.6 million jobs just since I was sworn in January the 20th. More jobs created at this point in the new presidency than ever before in American history. We have seen a dramatic drop in the unemployment rate from a high of 14.8% in April of 2020 to 4.6% today. Earlier this year, independent experts were predicting it would take until the end of 2023 to see unemployment that low. Our economy is creating new businesses, lots of new businesses. In fact, Americans are starting small businesses at a record rate, up 30% compared to before the pandemic. Economists will tell you that an increase in new businesses is one of the best signs of an economy that's becoming more innovative and more dynamic. And that's because small businesses aren't just the heart and soul of America. They're not just the bedrock of so many communities across the country. America's small businesses are the primary job creators, innovators, and drivers that power our economic progress. That's why it's a powerful statement of the faith that we have in our country, where our country and our economy is heading. That small business creation is surging in America today, which is why I'm proud to say, if you look at my presidency so far, it's a jobs presidency, and it's a small business presidency. So, if you look at the facts, here's what the record shows. Record job creation, record economic growth, record new small business creation. That's the story that should give us confidence about the economy that we're building. Confidence in ourselves, confidence in the future. Now, after years of wages being flat or falling behind, we're also seeing something else. Things are getting better for American workers. Higher wages, better benefits, more flexible schedules. Balance sheets for American families are better as well. Savings are up, home equity is up, credit card balances are down. And if you continue and combine the wage increases we've seen with the direct relief my administration has provided to middle-class families, the typical middle-class family's disposable income has actually gone up 2% this year, even after accounting for higher prices. That's the kind of recovery, just 1 year after a crippling worldwide economic crisis, that's unprecedented.
Days ahead, it is our hope and intention and expectation that Congress will build on this work by passing our Build Back Better Act. That legislation will build on our priority to address health disparities. It will reduce healthcare premiums for 9 million Americans and close the Medicaid coverage gap. It will also make an historic investment in maternal health in order to address the tragedy of Black maternal mortality in America. Again, there's more work to be done, but I believe we are headed in the right direction.
Our advocates were making very clear that what we want in the Build Back Better Act is an update of the registry, AKA Path to Citizenship, and to preserve Path to Citizenship in the Build Back Better Act for millions of our neighbors and our friends and our family. Now, in the House version of the Build Back Better Act, there are some conservative Democrats that are insisting that we do not include Path to Citizenship in the House version, but that we include a provision that kind of discusses what is known as a parole option. Our community has made very, very clear that parole is not good enough, and one of the reasons parole is not good enough is because they have expressed that it is their belief that the president can do that with an executive order. And so when it comes to, if we're going to act on immigration legislatively, we need to open a path to citizenship. I, of course, am in agreement. So we are seeing challenges from conservative House Democrats in not wanting to include this. But, and I do not believe that it is currently in the House version that is getting voted on soon. However, the Senate has the ability to include this Senate side. And if the Senate includes it, and the votes are there in the Senate, I believe that we can win some of those conservative Democrats in opposition here in the House. Because the argument is, you know, why should we support this and take this big political risk if Senator Manchin is just going to kill the path to citizenship? And so if the Senate can include it and successfully pass it, it's much easier to win one vote than it is to try to get 6 to 10. And so if they believe that it can pass the Senate, I think that we might be able to include registry overall. But the key here is that if passage happens right now without the path to citizenship in the House version, we have to really mobilize and advocate for it to be included in the Senate version. And then if it's included in the Senate version, the House and the Senate can conference and we can work overtime to make sure that it's adopted. This is our shot, okay? This right here, everybody, this is our shot at a path to citizenship for millions of our undocumented neighbors and our frontline workers and our essential workers and everybody who has been contributing and paying more taxes than even Facebook or Amazon does, and has been contributing members of our society to finally be recognized as equal in the eyes of the law. And so now's the time. Now is go time. And once this passes the House tonight, that's when it's really game on to ensure Senate passage. So that's the